Hey, what's up my Radical Squad? My name is DelmarshaeWalker. Welcome back to my channel, and I hope everyone is having a great day today. There is a movie called Sound of Freedom, and this movie is about child sex trafficking, child slavery, and I went to see it the other day. I'm very passionate about this particular subject, and one of the reasons that I feel this way is because I have talked about it before. When I was 9 years old, I was sexually molested. And when that happened, it's like my childhood stopped. And, it's a part of me that died. It's really hard to explain. You can't explain, the feelings, the emotion, the confusion. You can't really explain all that. But you just know something in you has changed. Something in you has died. So anytime I hear that happening to children or children put in that certain position, it kind of touched home to me because of what I've been through. That affected me from that point on, and still it kind of affected me in certain ways in my life now. At 10 years old, I wanted to commit suicide. I wanted to kill myself. So that's why I always get upset when I see certain things going on with the indoctrination of children. It's like, just leave kids alone. Allow them to be innocent. Allow them to be kids. And also I want, like when I was growing up, we had missing kids. They was put on the back of milk cartons. And, sometimes they would be found. A lot of times they weren't, or they would be found dead. I remember a certain situation like when I was 12 years old, and it was this child by the name of Adam Walsh, and this happened in Hollywood, Florida. His mother went to the store with him she went to get a lamp, and he wanted to look at some, I think he was like in the toy department or something like this, and this was like back in 1981. So she left him in the toy department. And she went a couple of hours down to look at some lamps. When she came back, he wasn't there. She looked all over the store, got security, went outside, could not find him anywhere. What ended up happening to him is they found his head. He was decapitated. They never found his body. And his father is John Walsh, and he started the series of America's Most Wanted. And he said the reason that he started that is because he didn't want any other parent to have to suffer a loss of a child. And then between 1994 and 2009, there was this basketball coach. I'm sorry, he was I'm not sure if it was basketball or football, but he was some type of coach, and his name was Jerry Sandusky, and he was an assistant coach. From 1994 to 2009, a 15-year period, he molested young boys, and it was like 52 cases, 52 counts of sexual abuse against young boys. And the thing about it is, over that time span, certain people knew what was going on. They didn't say anything, they didn't do anything. They allowed him to continue to molest these boys. And he was married, and it was at some point, I think, that some of the boys was at the house, and he molested them at the house. And they said they were screaming, and they don't understand how his wife could not have heard them screaming in the house. So it's a lot of people turn blind eye to child molestation. There's a lot of people turn a blind eye to child trafficking. And one thing with this movie, I'm sorry, before I get back to the movie, when Barack Obama was president, and they were saying that they was allowing kids to come over to the United States unaccompanied, without any parents, and they was allowed to stay. And I was asking my mom at that time, it's like, why would they encourage parents to send their kids over here? I said they need to just go ahead and send them kids back. I felt that way because, like, I when that happened to me when I was 9 years old, it was like my eyes was open to this world that I didn't know nothing about, but I understood it in a way that maybe someone else who never had that experience would not understand it. I understand how evil this world is. I'm not naive to it. And even at that age when I was seeing, certain things going on, I really couldn't, it's like you're still a child, you can't explain it, but it's that evil. You felt that evil, so you see that evil. And so certain things are wrong and certain things that exist shouldn't exist. So I was like, no, they should not be allowing these kids to come over here, because now all of these kids are going to go to safe places. Some of these kids are going to end up in foster care. Some are going to end up being abused. Some are going to end up being molested. They should send those kids back. And then when President Biden became president, and then they was doing the same thing, letting these kids come over. And then at one point I did a video saying that he lost about 1,000 and some kids that he didn't know where they were. Now here it is, 2023. It's like 85,000 kids are missing. No one knows where these kids are. No one is looking for these kids. But the border is still open. When you speak about adults, to sex trafficking with adults, sex trafficking with kids, drug trafficking, when you talk about organ harvesting, all that is coming through the border. Drugs, everything you can think of is coming across the border. Yes, there are some people who are running from their country hoping to have a better life in America. Unfortunately, a lot of those people, they're not going to have that better life they're looking for, because there's people over here that want to take advantage of whoever they can take advantage of and make money in the process. United States of America is a great country in so many ways, but don't be so naive as a United States citizen to not realize this is also an evil country. You have to look at the history. Honestly, this is not about black and white, but if you just sit down and understand the history of America, what America was built upon, how America became the country that it is, it was because of killing, stealing, destroying, all these evil things that took place to get America to where it is now. And now the evil is more, you're able to see the evil more now than you were in the past, because it's up in your face now. Like before, you could turn a blind eye to it. But now when you're sitting seeing videos after videos because of social media, and you're seeing everything that's going on, it's hard to turn a blind eye to it. And so with the movie Sound of Freedom, that's basically what they're trying to do with this movie, is to get people to get their heads out of the sand and open your eyes to what's truly going on in America. We talk about other countries like they're third world countries. Like America is so great and we don't have any stains on, the Statue of Liberty has no stains on her. She is full of stains. The American flag is full of blood stains. Okay? That's the reality of America. And one of the biggest business is human trafficking. It's another form of slavery. America built its wealth on slavery. America is still building its wealth on slavery, but this time it's with kids. It's more kids being trafficked than actual adults when it comes to sex trafficking, because there's sick people out there that wants to have sex with kids. They enjoy having sex with kids. When the kids if they survive everything they go through, when they get a certain age, what do? They get rid of them. If they don't kill them for their organs, they just kick them out because they're no longer desirable. They're too old. They aged out. So now these kids they don't know anything about their parents. They don't know that's the only life they ever live. So what you think they end up doing? They become prostitutes. They're out there young, selling their bodies because that's all they know. That's all they've been shown. That's all they've been taught. They don't know what it is to be loved. They don't know what it is to be cared for. They don't know what it is to be protected, because they never experienced that. Because these people are taking their innocence away from them. they end up turning to drugs and different things like that, because sometimes these people get them high in order for them to be easy to manipulate, easy to control, and different things like that, and they get them addicted to drugs. That's why a lot of times when it comes to sex and drugs, they go hand in hand, because a lot of people, even the women, adult women who's in that world of sex, a lot of them have to get high in order to do what they want. Their customers want them to do. And so it's one of those things, like I said, with the movie Sound of Freedom, they want to bring this to people's attention, and it's not about Democrats and Republicans. And when people make that argument, I look at them and wonder, how sadistic can you be if you're trying to say this is a political issue? If sex trafficking and people having sex with kids, if the only thing that come out of your mouth is political, how sick and sadistic are you? If you look at a child and say, well, the Democrats feel this way, or the Republican, no, what about that child? What about the suffering of that child? Humanity is humanity. Humanity do not have Democrat or Republican tagged on it. Humanity is, I'm going to do what's best for humanity because I am human. The same thing, if you had a child and your child was being sexualized, would you say, well, it's a Democrat issue or a Republican issue, or I want a Democrat to save my child or a Republican? No, you don't care who that is that's saving your child, as long as your child is saved, as long as your child is brought back to you. So when people politicize these situations, my mind goes to, how sick and sadistic are you that you can look at an innocent child and just want to cross your head and say, well, no, this is a political issue. I'm a Democrat. It's not about Democrat. Or I'm a Republican, so it's not about Republican. What about the child? What about the suffering of a child? If someone took away your freedom and did the same exact thing they're doing to that child, if they did it to you, how wouldn't you want someone to come help you? Wouldn't you want someone to stop it from happening to you? Wouldn't you want help? You wouldn't care who the person was that helped you. You're not going to sit there and say, well, I'm a Republican. Are you a Republican? I'm not going to leave with you if you're not the same, if you're not within my party. You're not going to say that. Just the same thing. If right now you was having a heart attack and a paramedic came to save you, would you care who they vote for? Who they voted for? You wouldn't care about that. So stop making this about political. This is not a political issue. This is a human rights issue. This is a true human rights issue, because these kids have no rights. These kids cannot say to these adults, I don't want to do this anymore. I quit, I leave. They can't. They don't know what to do other than follow what these people are saying, telling them to do. And like I said before, if you never had someone molest you, you would never fully grasp the severity of the mind control that goes along with this, and all this other stuff, and the dying of who you are inside. You will never understand that. So at least have some compassion for someone else, to the point that you would say, you know what, I'm going to do something about it. Yeah, you might be limited on what you could do, but at least acknowledge that this is happening. At least acknowledge that this is wrong. At least acknowledge that this needs to be stopped. And that's one thing they want you to do with this movie, is talk about it, pass it along. Because like I said, there's sex trafficking going on, not just with kids, but also with adults. There are organs being harvested from adults, especially Black people, because of the melanin in their skin, because the melanin in their system, because a lot of these elites, they want to live longer. A lot of these elites, they want to have that ageless thing. They don't want to grow old. So if they can get younger people blood, younger people organs, and different things like that, I understand it has to fit and work and all that. But if they can get different things from other people who's either younger than them, or who is a different ethnicity than them, which have a longer lifespan, or who age slower, they're going to want that, because that's what they want. And a lot of times people don't want to hear that because it sounds so outrageous, or they don't want to believe this is going on in their country. It's going on in America. So with Angel Studios, One of the things they're doing, if you go to Angel, I think it's angel.com. Yeah, it's angel, ANGEL.com. If you go there, you can get a free ticket to the movie. If you've never seen the movie before or anything like that, you can get a free ticket because they want people to be aware. They want people to go and see this movie. They want people to open their eyes to what's really going on. So you can go there and get a free ticket. You can buy your ticket yourself and go to the movie. I feel that you should go to the movie and see this. It is a good movie. But if you, for whatever reason, don't have the money to buy the ticket to see the movie, you can go there to that website, angel.com, and get a free ticket. Peace.